Welcome into the Miami Dolphins 2019 offseason preview. Excuse me. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. This offseason preview had to be the most difficult for me to actually do because back when we was doing the whole transition from Joe Philbin to Adam Gase, it wasn't that hard. It was just a plug and play type of situation, pick and choose. That's how it was going. But some of the things that were said this go around, as far as Brian Flores wanted to start off fresh, Stephen Ross want to build the team off of young players. The rumor of us tanking has been out there. It made it extremely difficult. So I tried to hold out as long as I possibly could. Listening to Chad O'Shea's interview and listening to Patrick Graham's interview gave me a good picture of how I would think they would envision the Miami Dolphins teams. But as far as looking at the Miami Dolphins roster, again, the Miami Dolphins roster is not that bad. Like, literally, people make it to seem like we're just such a terrible team. And for those who have sat back and have said that, because I do read the comments, some think I don't, but I do. Y'all were the same ones that have literally went to ask Siri who was the best team in the NFL when the Miami Dolphins was sitting at 3-0 and you ain't have not one bad thing to say about Ryan Tannehill, which we're going to get into Ryan Tannehill right now. As far as the cuts and trades, we look at Ryan Tannehill. Look here. I know the Miami Dolphins said they're expecting to cut him, but literally listening to Chad O'Shea's interview, I think Ryan Tannehill is number one. He's going to end up having to take a pay cut. I think that's what he's probably going to end up doing. And then probably towards training camp, the Miami Dolphins will end up cutting him, or they'll end up trading him to a different team. Because I don't see it any other way. If he keeps the same pay, which he's going to be due $26 million for the 2019 season. It's when training camp rolls around, after free agency, after everything is said and done, after the draft, everything is said and done. Teams are going to still be needing a quarterback. Possibly Ryan Tannehill may come up in a trade, but I would keep Ryan Tannehill as far as right now for insurance, because we don't know what's going to happen in the draft, which you will cover the draft later on in the video. But next up we have Devontae Parker. This was really tough for me because you have Devontae Parker going into a contract year. To be honest with you, I would see what he got. But you look at the New England Patriots offense, they're not really built upon big receivers. So I would probably pass on Devontae Parker. Kenny Stills came up, was a little bit of was up there for me, but I took him off. But Danny Amendola definitely got to go. He's due $6 million. I know he was the leading receiver for us this past season, but I'm not really a fan of Danny Amendola as far as what he's getting paid. I honestly thought that was probably one of Adam Gase's worst moves last year, is bringing on Danny Amendola and Albert Wilson. I thought we should have just bought on one. But, Danny Amendola, definitely I would cut him. Ted Larson definitely got to go. I felt like he should definitely went last year. He's going to be due $2 million this year as well. Andre Branch, I'm big on admitting when I'm wrong, because he had that one monster year the first year, and then after that he started to decline a little bit. Most definitely he's got to go. He's supposed to be getting $9 million for the 2019 season as well. Akeem Spence, he got to go. I didn't like the way he played at all at the beginning of the season. He was okay, but as the season drug on a little bit, wasn't really a fan of how he played. Now, here's where it gets a little interesting, and I've been judged about this in the Miami Dolphins 2019 rebuild video for the Madden. This ain't Madden. This is real life. I'm being real with you, real facts. You look at Kiko Alonzo. I know you guys are in love with Kiko Alonzo, but I was not satisfied with the way he played down the stretch. Now, I know you've seen some flashy plays by him. You've seen some flashy plays. But the plays that y'all don't be seeing, that I be rewatching over and over and over again, when I see him shooting the wrong gap, he be missing tackles. Like, Kiko Alonso's not worth no $8 million moving forward. Like, I think we can find somebody else to plug and play in that hole. And plus, to be honest, Patrick Graham already came out and said that we're gonna be doing a multiple defense. So Kiko, I don't think he's gonna be used as much. So we really don't need him. Now, looking forward to as far as who the Miami Dolphins should resign. I'm looking at it. Juwan James should be a top priority. I don't care what anybody says. You have the two anchors, Laremy Tunsil and Juwan James, are probably the only two offensive linemen that have been playing consistent over the past 2 or 3 seasons. But yeah, you have to solidify this offensive line. The offensive line was placed was in the last 5 in the league as far as quarterback hits. So most definitely the quarterback should the offensive line, Juwan James, has to be top priority as far as free signing before he hits free agency. You look at Cam Wake, I have him on the list, and you know what? Hey, I'll be glad to bring back Cam Wake, but it has to be on a respect deal. Y'all know what a respect deal is. Has to be a respectable amount of money for him to be able to come back to Miami and retire. Now look at Marquise Gray. I like Marquise Gray. He's versatile. Can play fullback, can play tight end. He can throw the football if you need him to. I like Marquise Gray. Even though he had a season-ending injury in 2018, I like Marquise Gray. Now the next 3 are just plug-and-play guys. Not really just to come in and start, but they just a body. They literally just a body. So you got Jake Brendel. He had an injury last year. Isaiah Asiata, I don't even know what's going on with him, but sometimes I see him suit up, sometimes I don't. Hopefully this year we can end up getting him to suit up for cheap. So that could be good. Brandon Bolden, I thought he played well in a couple of games, especially the Minnesota Vikings game. But yeah, just a plug and play guy. Before we even hit free agency, I got a couple of notes as far as like, yeah, I probably head scratching like, yo, what about Frank Gore? What about William Hayes? I know Xavier Howard came up, but Frank Gore, you know what? I like Frank Gore. 722 yards rushing. He ain't get no TDs. Average 4.6 yards a carry. He was extremely reliable. But I think, to be honest with you, it's time. It's literally time for you to give Kenyon Drake the keys. I really think it's time. You have Kalen Ballage right behind him. If we bring back Brandon Bolden, he's right there. So we could literally be good with that. William Hayes. I like William Hayes too. I thought he was a pivotal part for our defense as far as stopping the run. That's probably why we struggled so much after he had that season in the injury. But yeah, he got to go. He up there in age too. Now, Xavier Howard. I know this has been a question over the past couple of weeks. I've heard a lot of different opinions about it. People were like, "Yo, he's the best corner in the league." No, he's not. He should be paid like the best corner in the league. No, he should not. To be quite honest with you guys, looking at Xavier Howard, I like Xavier Howard. Don't get me wrong, but he is not the best corner in the league. I have seen some plays where he looked pretty bad. I've seen some plays where he looked pretty bad. Also, the fact that his inconsistencies as far as playing, like you gotta give me a little bit more consistency as far as of games you actually play. So with that being said, next year is going to be his contract year. I strongly feel like we should franchise tag him. If he can prove that he can be consistent, then yeah, I would say yeah, go ahead and pay the man. But until that time, man, I don't see it as far as Xavier Howard being paid this year. I don't see that. Now, Bobby McCain, I tell you, boy, last year when it was just didn't even wait for his contract to be up. Like, we literally just gave him an extension. And we made jokes about this before, but to be quite honest with you, I hated that contract. It's like a $26 million contract. I hated that contract. Like, it's averaging $6 million a year. I hate that contract. And it basically stated that he would be paid as the best slot corner in the league. No, I've said this millions of times. There is no such thing as the best slot corner. You either are the best corner in the league or you're not. There's no best slot corner. So pay what Bobby McCain is worth. I thought Bobby McCain is probably worth $15 million, maybe $18 million. That's really pushing it. But yeah, the best slot corner, that's bull. I don't like that at all. So if you can't figure out a way to give him a pay cut or you know what I'm saying, restructure that somehow, then I don't think I would want Bobby McCain on the squad. Or we guess we're going to have to sit back and find somebody else, because the way I've been seeing him over the years, how he's been playing, literally been looking like a dead body, literally. I see him take terrible angles on tackles. Sometimes I see him get burnt. Like, he is not an outside corner. Let's stop thinking that he's an outside corner. I don't like that. I'm just being real with you. He is not an outside corner. Now, Minkah Fitzpatrick, as far as him moving forward, you have him flip-flopping from corner to safety. To be quite honest with you, I don't like that one at all. I think it's just really just keep him at free safety. Just keep him at free safety. Just moving forward. Now, Reshad Jones, that's tough. That's really tough for me. We're gonna be due $17 million. It's gonna hurt my heart, but we're gonna have to figure out how to dump that contract, because of the fact that we have enough depth back in the safety position with TJ McDonald. He's younger, about the same. It kind of Reshad Jones rubbed me the wrong way when he was frustrated about as far as how the team, how he was forced in the free safety position. Like, it's a team sport. You be productive where your team best see fit. So for Reshad Jones to sit back and complain, I thought he was very selfish. So yeah, I'm sorry, but Reshad Jones, he definitely got to go. Just put TJ McDonald right there, the strong safety, we be all right. He ain't gonna be as good as Reshad Jones, but he'll be close. He'll literally be close. What's that $17 million contract? That's got to go. That's literally got to go. I thought real hard about Robert Quinn. I know our defensive front didn't get a lot of pressure on quarterbacks, but I think the upside is bright. Robert Quinn hasn't hit 30 yet. He's only 28 years old. He led the team in sacks with 6. That's got to count for something. I think that we'd be better off keeping him. And let's see if we can get. This is gonna be his contract year, so let's see what he can do, and just let him play. Now, before we look forward in free agency, I just wanted to say, as far as tight end play, I really think that we should pick up the tight end play. Like, I know we have the players. Mike Gesicki had 22 catches, 202 yards. But I think we can get way more out of that. So moving forward in the offense, I would like for us to actually get the tight end involved more often. Now, as far as free agency goes, what I'm looking for, offensive linemen, most definitely staying healthy and consistency at the guards position and the center position. Those are the two possible most definite needs that we need. Defensive line, well, preferably defensive tackle in general. Run stuffing specialist. I want a pure run stuffer. That's what I'm looking for. That's top notch. That's literally top notch that I'm looking for. Now, first free agents I have on this list is Mitch Morse. It's gonna be a free agent from the Kansas City Chiefs. He's a center. Played 11 games in 2018. Way more than what Kilgore played last year. Way more than Josh Sitton played last year. But I think he would be an excellent fit. Sheldon Richardson from the Minnesota Vikings bounced around the last couple of years, and the NFL ended up getting traded to the Seahawks last year. He ended up not getting re-signed by the Seahawks. Ended up signing with the Minnesota Vikings this year. Has some off-the-field issues. This would be a perfect opportunity for Brian Flores to put his the most talked about trait to work, as far as he's great with players. So I think you bring in a Sheldon Richardson. I think he's still a top 10 defensive tackle in this league, to be quite honest with you. He just has to put it on the field and not cause locker room issues, not go 140 miles an hour in the car with a loaded handgun and a 12-year-old in the car. I think if he can stop doing that stuff, he'd be good. Now, looking at this defensive tackle position again, I got Malcolm Brown on here from the New England Patriots. All these guys are young. Literally, all these guys are young. Mitch Morris, 27. Sheldon Richardson, 28. And you got Malcolm Brown, 25. But yeah, run stuffing specialist. I think he can cause havoc in the defensive tackle position and help us big time in stopping the run. A wild card I have on here at the cornerback position, opposite of Xavier Howard. I got Bradley Roby up here, 27. From the Denver Broncos. To be quite honest with you, he's not a number 1. He's more like a number 2, number 3. but I think he has potential to be a consistent number 2 corner. So I think that that's most definitely something that we actually need. Like I said, I'm not really a fan of Bobby McCain. Cordero Tankerslave been struggling. Torrey McTire, trash. So you looking at it like Bradley Roby will be an upgrade, and it won't cost us that much because he'll be paid like a number 2. At the guard position, I got Quentin Spain from the Tennessee Titans, 27 years old. Played 15 games in 2018. As far as his productivity, wasn't exactly the same from 2017, 2016, but I think on a different team in an increased role, I think he can be a consistent plug and play player. Still, like I said, he's young, so we could bring him up in here for cheap. Looking at Jason, I got Jason Verrett up here from the Los Angeles Chargers. Didn't play for the 2018 season because he had a knee injury. Literally had multiple injuries since 2013. So I think we can bring him in for a cheap 1-year prove-it deal. Something like we did for Brent Grimes back in the day. I think Jason Verrett would benefit big. We would benefit big time with Jason Verrett, because I doubt any team's going to end up paying this guy top dollar. The Pittsburgh Steelers, B.J. Finney, center, 27 years old. Looking at him, not a lot of people going to be looking at this, but he's just looking for an opportunity. Literally hasn't played a full season. Came in all 16 games. Only started 2 of them. But yeah, just looking for an opportunity. I think in that Pittsburgh Steelers offensive line, he played fairly well. So I think the Miami Dolphins should consider bringing him in as far as an option. Also, I know you guys are gonna ask, Nick Foles. Why do you talk about Nick Foles? Nick Foles, to be quite honest with you, like me and Matt King was talking about this in the live stream a couple days ago. He specifically said if he has pieces around him to be successful, like an offensive line that'll protect for him and receivers to throw to, he'll be all right. That's a flag, because if I'm bringing, like, think about it this way: if we're bringing in Nick Foles, and we have all that stuff around him, okay, then yeah. But if we don't, since we don't, what's the point? You might as well stick with Ryan Tannehill, to be quite honest with you, because I'm looking at it. Same thing with Case Keenum. Y'all want us to bring in a Nick Foles? How much do you think that would be cost us? Like $12 million a year, maybe. And then you want to go ahead and draft Kyler Murray in the first round, or Will Grier, or Tankin, or whatever you feel. It's going to be the same amount up to Ryan Tannehill. Same thing with Case Keenum. I don't see what he could possibly do for us. Teddy Bridgewater, I'm sorry, but consistency is a big thing for me. We haven't seen nothing from Teddy Bridgewater since his days in Minnesota. I don't even know if he still even got it, to be quite honest with you. Trey Flowers, I know, is also going to come up. I know you guys are going to be extremely mad at me about that. Trey Flowers is going to be a top commodity. We ain't got the money this year to sit back and break the bank for a top 5 free agent. Mitch Morse is really pushing it for me, but center is a most definite need. I think that the Miami Dolphins should not BS on the offensive line this year. They've been doing it for the past 5. So yeah, longer than that. Might have been 8. But yeah, that's most definitely be a need, break the bank for that. But yeah, Trey Flowers, I think he's gonna be a top 5 guy. That's a break the bank type of free agent, and the Miami Dolphins are trying to get away from breaking the bank. Moving forward to the NFL draft, right? Like I said, I would keep Ryan Tannehill as far as right until after the draft. But if Kyler Murray is sitting there at 13th, which it's a pretty good chance that he could still be sitting there, then I'd be like, all right, cool. Go ahead and let Ryan Tannehill go. You bring in the older veteran after we let him go, and then we'll go with that. But if we're sitting at 13th and Kyler Murray's gone, Dwayne Haskins is gone, and the other guys aren't first round draft pick type guys, then what's the point of letting Ryan Tannehill go? At least you have some insurance. You know what Ryan Tannehill will give you. Which, by the way, I have to sit back and play this clip from Chad O'Shea, because a lot of y'all just don't seem to not be listening when I be saying, look, the Miami Dolphins offensive line has been terrible. They've literally been terrible. At what point Do you expect the Miami Dolphins to protect the Kyler Murray, to protect the Tua Tagovailoa, to protect a Case Keenum, to protect the Nick Foles? At what juncture? If we're in the bottom 5 and being able to keep our quarterback straight, at what point? So go ahead and listen to the clip, because I love it. I love that clip by that Chad Oates. I couldn't say it any better than myself.
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's a lot of things that you want in a quarterback, one of which is accuracy, and obviously there's a lot of things that go into accuracy, and I say it's just not the quarterback, it's the guys around him. It takes all 11 to be an accurate quarterback. I strongly believe that. It takes great protection. It takes the receivers to be dependable and detailed and disciplined in the pass game to allow a quarterback to be accurate. So I think that sometimes the accuracy gets put just on the quarterback, but I think that it's something that takes contributions from all positions to allow a quarterback to be accurate.
But yeah, it's an offensive. It's a team as a whole, offense as a whole, not just a quarterback that plays a factor in accuracy. Offensive line has to protect. Receivers have to run the right routes. That's how accuracy works. That's how accuracy works. And you heard it from a professional. You literally heard it from a professional. I'm just a fool when I say it. I'm a fool. So y'all heard it from a professional. But yeah, looking at the draft. If Kyler Murray is sitting at 13th, I don't see why we do not end up drafting him. We can't. It's impossible for us to pass him up. Most definitely. Maybe even grabbing a guard if he's not there. But please don't trade down. Please don't trade down. Please don't trade. Unless it's gonna be with let's say the Detroit Lions are sitting there at 8th. If we swap with them 8th for the 13th pick, then I'll be down with that. A first round for a first round this year, that's easy kill. That's an easy kill. But if we're talking about multiple draft picks, no. Well, let's not be the Washington Redskins who end up trading 2 first round picks for RG3 and he ends up being a bust. Let's not do that. But outside of that, man, that's all I got. Let me know what you guys think. You know what it is. If you enjoyed the content, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. This is GreatOne DeVore. I'm up out of here.